Hi, everybody. Well, we're going to do a few things today. So while I get ready, we'll let a few people come in. Need to put my flash on. There you go. And the chat. Here we go. So I'm going to wear my gloves today, hopefully. Welcome. Yeah, it's RocksAlot, and today we're going to be doing a couple of different things. I have a couple of Idaho Emerald Creek star garnets that I was given by a local jeweler to have a practice on to see if we could actually cut the star out. Not cut the star out, but you know what I mean. Make a stone. So let's go in here. We'll take a peek at these. So I don't know if we can do this. They're pretty fractured up. But hi Dirty, welcome in. I saw you went to the flea market. I haven't watched it yet. Unfortunately, these gloves do not do well with the focus. But star garnet from Idaho, and we are going to try to see if we can cab the flash or the star itself. So yeah, it looked like you had some fun. I haven't watched it yet, to be honest. I saw it come across my feed this morning, and I will watch it when I get to my lunch later on this afternoon. Now, this one has a better star in it, but again, it's fractured out. So I'm gonna try maybe bring the bottom down, and then after bringing the bottom down, I'm going to try and put it on a dop stick. Hi everybody, welcome in. And then we'll see if we can cab it. It's going to be interesting. Not something I've done before. And I'm a little afraid, or very afraid, of all these fractures that are in here. So that's one of the things we're going to try. We're going to cut maybe a piece or two of the Kingman. And then also, welcome in everybody. I hope you had a great weekend, or you're having a good Sunday. I had this mixed bag that came in of turquoise, and I'm not sure how stable it is, but we might shape up a few of these pieces, and if I get anything out of these, it will be a plus. So they got little nuggeties, and I did cut a couple of little pieces. Where are we? Welcome in everybody. Thank you for being here. Happy Sunday. So I did cut a couple of these pieces. I'm a little worried about the stability on them. This one, let's see, where are we? There we go, something like that. So I did take this to the saw outside, and hey Clash, how you doing today? Hey Katie. So this one cut, but it did break off a little bit. So I'm not sure how stable that is. Welcome in everybody. Hope you're having a good Sunday afternoon. And then I did this one too, which we'll try. There we go. These gloves don't do well with the focus, but gotta have them on today. I've been wearing my nails away. So this little nugget here. Hi Kira. How you doing today? I hope so. I'm trying not to buy stuff. I'm trying to produce stuff today. But I cut this little nugget. This was off of Dave's bench. Gogu, welcome in. Yeah, that's a little different. I don't know if they'd cut on the saw quite like this, but I guess they do have that sort of buddy look. But these are pretty cool. Hi, Freckle Cat. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. So I think first we're going to try these star garnets. I'm going to put them on the wheel. They may just fracture out, and then I might try stopping them out. But I have a feeling these are just so fractured that we'll try and keep the star in them. So this one had the decent star in it, and we're going to try and keep that in the middle. So let's try this. We're going to move over to the wheels. So if you get travel sickness, please hold on. Hopefully. There we go. We're getting better at that. Come up a tiny bit. So I work on a Diamond Pacific Genie. It's got 6 wheels on it. Thank you, Limhan. Ozu, welcome in. Yuzo, I'm sorry. Well, Sam. Aaron, welcome in. So, yeah, let's give this a try. So this one's got a pretty big fracture right there. I'm going to try and orient it on this side of the stone, get a flat base, and then we'll try and dop it up. But that's a lot of water. We'll see how this goes. A little bit of noise. Justin, welcome in. These are not from Ohio. These are from Idaho, and I think they're from Emerald Creek, but I'm not 100% sure. But I was given these by Jula, and wanted to see if I could cab it out. So, let's see how this glove works on my Focus. It does not work at all. So we are going to be, this is as close as we're getting. Otherwise I've got to take the gloves off. So let's try it on this rough wheel. It's an 80 grit wheel. Okay, not very hard. So taking it away pretty quick. And making a mess of it too. So basically that's tearing up the tumble that's pre-done. And I got to try and get this part out here because it's got that big fracture in. So I'm just going to take that out right now. And I really have no idea how this is going to turn out. Try and round that around. And try and make a semi-cab shape. Whoops. And I am just going for it with these. Maybe my instinct will cut in, but we'll see. Okay, so not bad. I'm going to take it in a little bit more to get this one out. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you had a great Halloween. Didn't eat any bad candy, and you and your families had a really good time. I know a lot of you like your dress-up time. Some do it a couple of days a year, some do it every day. Okay, so it gets difficult because I've taken the polish off. Let's see if we can do this. We got to work this out. There we go. Because I've taken the polish off, it's harder to see where that star is. So now I have to go with sort of, you see the star in the middle? I have to sort of go with my instinct, which may or may not be good. So I'm going to go over to the next wheel. Make sure I get that fracture out, which I think we got the fracture pretty much out. It's still there a little bit. Let's pull it out. I want to get that out completely. Then we might stop these, let them dry, and we will come back to them. We'll do a couple pieces of turquoise. Welcome in, everybody. So the platform is trying to get me to do a sticker up there, which is what would I tell my future self? I've actually asked this question of my 18-year-old self before, and came to the conclusion that even if I told my adult self, my 18-year-old self, things to do and not to do from when I was an adult, my 18, I probably wouldn't have listened. So, yeah, that's good. I don't know. Yeah, 18, I don't think I would have listened to myself. Okay. Kind of got this where I want it, where I can dop it out. I'm going to try polishing the bottom just to see where it goes. It looks a lot more mossy than it did when it was nice and polished. So let's get the bottom here. Very soft, much softer than I thought it was going to be. So I could make this disappear really quick. Thanks for all the thumbs up, everybody. I really appreciate that. I am not a professional. I am a hobby lapidarist and rock collector. I also go out and do quite a few estate sales. I hit the thrift shops and stuff too. Not a huge reseller. Well, that's not true. I just sold a painting last night. What am I talking about? So a lot of what I do when I go to estate sales is I look for things that I know. Hi there, Opal guy. Welcome in. I know we were all up pretty late last night. I was actually at a reunion, sort of semi-reunion from college, out in the middle of the country with a bunch of friends, and I had a big cookout, but my internet out there was not fantastic. But, we had a bonfire and everything, so it was nice. Yeah, I saw it actually. I watched for the first sort of 45 minutes after last night. I'm trying not to really buy too much right now. Let's move over here. And I don't really want to cross over channels, but this is kind of my time. I have no other time to go live, so I come on live on Thursdays after my work week, and I come on live on a Sunday, which is just before my work week. So just smoothing off this edge. I don't think this is really going to work. It might. So then what we're going to do, because I don't see any of that star anymore, unless I go this way, and I'm about to get rid of this. Welcome in, everybody. So yeah, I'm a part-time to full-time lapidarist, I guess. I have done some commissions lately for a jeweler. I don't know if that makes me professional. I'd still consider myself a hobbyist when it comes to this. And I'm still learning a lot. And I'm happy to bring all of you along. That's really what I'm doing. I would be out here anyway. I guess I could be inside watching football or something, but I'd much rather be out here. So I couldn't tell you, Gloria. Depends on the type of quartz, really. I think There's some really expensive rose quartzes out there. There's some really expensive clear quartzes out there. The quartz changes price for where it's from, the color, the clarity, just like a diamond. But obviously you don't get the same money that you do with a diamond. And, you know, as with everything else, it depends on what somebody's willing to pay. And for a lot of people, you know, some specimens are worth more to them just because of where they got it from, the story behind it, who may have given it to them. Okay, I don't know how we're going to do this focus, but we're going to do something. All right. Got to work this focus out somehow. So I'm going to try and get a bit closer, like that. With my glove off, it probably shows up, you see. So that's a really nice color to it. And the star has, for right now, disappeared, but I've got a decent shape going to it. Welcome in, everybody. So star garnet, and I just made the star disappear. But I'm going to put this on a dot stick now, and yeah, we'll go from there. So let's get the other one and start the other one too. Just as facety. See if we can get the star to pick up. Alright, so there you see that flash going from left to right, or right to left. That's what we're trying to capture. So these have been tumbled before. So I'm going to try and shape this one up a little bit too. And then we'll drop them up. But same thing, so they got these fractures in them. And I don't know which way we're going to try and bottom this one out. And we got to get rid of that. So I got to come all the way up. I'm going to come all the way up to about there. Do this. Go over here a little bit more. Hi everybody, thank you so much for coming in, I really appreciate it. Stay a couple of minutes, you might see something that you like. If you have any questions, just put them in the chat. You're welcome, Gloria. I'm sorry, you know, it's not like a full answer. Without knowing how, you know, big it is or where it came from, it's really hard to judge. Difficult. And I'm going to go around. So I am not a gem cutter. I guess I've done a couple. I mean, I'm a gem cutter in that I do opals and other semi-precious gemstones, but I haven't really touched rubies or emeralds or done any faceting. Maybe I will one day, but right now I just enjoy carving things. And these were given to me. They were very cheap. He got them very cheap, but I've had them for like 3 months, and he keeps asking me if I've given it a try yet. So this is me giving it a try. Here you can see the sort of that chatoyant line that goes across up and down that way, and left to right on that one. So I don't know if this will stay or not. I'm going to try and keep this fairly high. That was quick. So these are pretty soft. And like I said, I think he got them from, I think actually the story is his family used to have a lot of land up there, if I remember correctly. And I think they sold some of the family land off, but on the land they had some claims, and small artisanal mining. So people used to come and, mine and pay a little fee per bucket, that kind of stuff. So I think he got these super cheap. Alright. Pretty good on that. Gonna go one more time. It's literally that quick with the stone for some reason. I thought garnets were much harder, but they're not. And you can actually tell the hardness on my machine by how much noise it's making. Let me see if I can show you real quick. Let's see. Oh, there's a piece. So you heard the garnet. This is the garnet on the middle wheel. And this is a good question. I think it was petrified wood. But you can hear the difference in sound. Soft, hard. Let's just polish that up a little bit. Then we're gonna burn. I'm gonna burn my fingers next. If you want to wait around, we're gonna try and put these on a couple of drop sticks. Get the bottom edge is really sharp, so I'm going to take that off real quick. Hi Eugene, welcome in. Hey Ryan, how you doing? I don't know if you've done this, Ryan, or not. So there you can see the fracture in the bottom popping out. And that fracture, I don't know how deep that goes. Let me bring that up just a tiny bit more to see if I can get rid of it. So yeah, I've been coming live. Welcome in, everybody. Been coming live on Sundays, about lunchtime, Sunday Eastern Standard Time, and then Thursdays at tea time around, somewhere around 5ish, 5:30ish. Love you all to join me. Never really quite know what I'm going to work on until day of. But once I get these chopped up, I'll show you what we did Thursday. So that fracture started to come out a little bit, so I'm going to go a little bit higher. I have no expectations on the outcome of these, sort of in my head. I thought them out a little bit, but I have never cut a stog on it. I don't know if it'll just fracture out and splinter when they start getting smaller. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep the flash of the star itself. So this one only had one line, the other one had a cross line. But you don't know until you try. So that was good. That fracture came out of the bottom. It goes in just a tiny bit more. But that'll help me later on from this rock splitting. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I was actually in his sale earlier. I watched his sale yesterday too. And then I did hear him mention that they were working, I think they were working maybe on the foundation for the shed at this point. I know he's been waiting a long time. I didn't know his live had stopped though. So glad you could all make it in. I don't know how long it takes him to go from the shop over to his house either. Alright, so this came out. I'm going to leave it there, and we're going to go around. I'd like to put a big shout out to all the jewelry resellers as well. They've been extremely kind to me. Jody and Tanya and Kirsten, Jason, Wendy, of course, from Walker Collectibles. All fantastic channels. And of course, Christy over at Ladies That Loot. Alright, so that's the bottom. And because my machine's so old, I can put these little stones on top of the motor for a minute or two, and it should dry out sufficiently for me to put the dot sticks on. So that's what I'm going to do next. And this could be interesting because a lot of times I burn myself. Well, we'll move you over. I'm going to move you over, so if you get travel sickness, we're going back to the bench. That's not bad. That's pretty good. Oh, he's still live and driving. I actually like the drive-alongs. Not necessarily Kyle's, but I like the Opal Mills, if you haven't been to his channel. And Phil has a claim in Andamuka, and he likes to take you along on the drives. Okay, so this looks promising. And this one, still promising. I mean, it's got these cracks in it. I wonder how it's going to work out. Alright, so we need fire. Let's back it up a little. We've got fire. We've got stones, tweezers, dopping sticks and wax, and a lighter. So let me get these stones out so I don't trip wax all over them. Dink. Here comes some fire. Dink. I'm gonna have to go right-handed on this one. No, I gotta go the other way. There we go. Sorry, because I'm gonna have to wet my fingers too. So a little bit of heat on the wax, a little bit of heat on the stone. Hopefully it doesn't fracture it by getting too hot. Let's see how we do here. One more. And drink. Oh, that did not work. Let's go hot. Come on. Not bad. Some water on my fingers. Does not want to hold the stone, but it's going to work. No, it's not going to work. Not working as well as I would like it to. No, not holding. Okay, gloves coming off. Like I said, I'll probably burn myself. Yeah. Let's do this here. Okay, wax is hot. Get my stone. Boop, boop, boop. The police are coming because I'm doing such a bad job. Nope, it's not going. No, we're going to do it by hand. Let's try it again. Okay, that one worked. Hi everybody, welcome in. You are watching me dop stones the incorrect way. For right now. There we go, that's better. That's like the worst. Okay. Still off a little. I think maybe I heated my stone up too much. But yeah, welcome in everybody. Yeah, 750 extra subscribers. I would love a couple of extra subscribers today. Hitting 750 would be fantastic. Well above schedule. Okay, I thought that was a crack, but it's actually a piece of wax. So this looks pretty good. All right. Let's let that cool off. That one's gonna cool. Let me find another one. Let's try this one. I'm gonna do it by hand this time. That way I don't get the stone too hot. But I can feel it. I'll tell you, people make this look much easier than it is. They do have the dopping stations, which I am not using. I just need that to cool down for a second. Boop. Let's turn off that fire. Let's straighten this one up. Hi everybody, welcome in. Dopping. So dopping, this is dopping. Using wax and a stick. Yeah. It should be fine. Fairly straight. So let's let those cool off, and then we're going to look at a couple of pieces of turquoise to cut. These are the ones we did Thursday. Ooh. Oops. So we did a couple pieces of fire rackets Thursday. Came out pretty good. Boof. Still need, what do I need on these ones? I need to finish these off, probably the 12 and the 3000 still to go on this. This was actually the back, which ended up being domed. Did have some decent color in there. Where is it? Right in there. You can kind of see it here to here. And the other side had a little bit more depth. Sorry about the focus. Come on. Here you go. So this was the flat side, which came in flat side and rubbed, and so I used that as the top. And then I actually ended up doming the back, and I can set this so it's double-sided. These two are really nice. This needs to be finished today. Just a little piece, but still got a little bit of bugging on the side that needs to be done. And this one came out awesome. Also still has like a little bug cave in there, which I don't know if I can get that out without dremeling. But we might finish that off a little bit today. And then this was the last piece that a couple people actually said throw away or leave it in the not so good bag, and it turned out I was able to zone that out pretty well, even though it's really thin. If you can see that seam of turquoise on the top there, but it actually came out really nice. Okay, so we can leave those. And what we're going to do next, I have to try these pieces. These came off of somebody's shop bench. I like I said, I did try cutting a couple pieces, and they were pretty soft. So this one came out, it's really nice inside. Could almost do a ring size shape, oval or round, and then just polish those botroidals, which would really be really nice. But we're going to try one of these pieces. This started to break. I don't know if I need to stabilize it, but it has some really nice color inside. So let's give that a try. Let's see. We will give this one a try, because I have zero idea of what's inside. And let's see, what else can we do? This one probably needs to be split, and actually has a really nice color to it. So I think we're going to start with those, and maybe this little piece. So let's get those back in the bag. I'm just going to run through those 3 pieces, and then I also have a couple of pieces of Kingman. And we'll bring down that top, see what we see underneath there. So, potential 6 pieces. And we're going to take them through the first 3 wheels and see how they come out. So, hold on, we're going back to the machine. Hopefully this will be the last time moving over. Plenty of stuff on my bench to look at. There you go. Let's get you in close enough, and then I got to put my gloves and my mask back on. New pair of gloves. The reason I'm doing the gloves is, one, I need to change the way I'm cutting, but it's starting to cut the edge of my nail there because I'm pushing so hard. So this is just temporary precaution. And I did speak with Aaron Small the other day. Super, super nice gentleman. Very kind and generous gentleman. And he sent me a couple of pictures of the gloves that he uses when he's working on his machines. But super nice guy. Let me get this moving. This is the one I cut. It was a little soft. There's more light on here, I'm sorry. There we go. Get some water in there. And we'll see if this crumbles. Hoping it doesn't crumble. I'm going to go around the edge just to give it, see how quick that was. That just disappeared. Bam. So I got to get it to where it's all giving me a little bit of resistance, so I know I'm not working on something too soft. Yeah, the fire out just came out pretty nice. I have quite a few to go through, so literally just making it gunky. Let's have a look. So, going around the edge, you can sort of see the turquoise coming out. You can see where it's soft. And we're going to go onto this middle wheel. Same thing. Going to go around the edge real quick. So yeah, I've been cutting a lot of stone, and even though these wheels won't cut you, they will wear things away eventually. So kind of been wearing me away a little bit. So just got to be a little more safety minded and precautionary. Thank you all for the thumbs up. I really appreciate that. A little sandy-ish. And a little fractury, so I'm going to bring that up, get rid of that. Let's see. I don't know, this might just fall completely into pieces. I do have another little piece, cut-off piece of this. So maybe I should have put it in the vacuum. Which I'm going to have to do a big vacuum with everybody. A little show during the vacuuming process, so stabilization. About 90% of turquoise is stabilized. Whether people are telling you to do that or not. Hi Husky, how are you? I can actually. So I went from the 80 that was really super soft and made it disappear, but I knew that matrix on the outside had to come out. And then you can see there's these fractures in this, or inclusions, and that's not going to stand up to anything. It's actually crumbling. So I need to bring that all the way in so that I can actually form something that has a decent enough hardness that when set, so if it's going to get set in jewelry, it has to be hard enough that it can take a little bit of everyday bashing from people wearing it. And this is not holding up very well, so I could take my time and make a really nice dome and make it nicely shaped and polish it, and then have somebody, or myself even, set it into a piece of jewelry, and then the first knock on the side of a table or a cabinet or whatever it happens to be, and it's gonna crack or break the stone that you're working with. And this is just keeps getting bigger, smaller and bigger, so it's just disappearing. So I'm gonna leave that one for right now. I'm not too happy. I didn't pay a lot of money for it. Let's try this, because I have no idea what this is. This one should be a little bit harder. Depends what kind of glass, Husky. So if it's a so a lot of gems from maybe they've always used glass. From Czech glass to Romanian glass to old Roman glass. They've always used it in jewelry, and it really depends on what kind of glass, what the glass piece is used for. Is it for jewelry? Is it faceted, or is it just cabbed out? Glass does do well on this machine, as long as I use the cerium at the end. It does work really well with obsidian. So if it works well with obsidian, it should work well with glass, but it really depends on the piece. So is it already faceted is the question. That would be the next question. So if it's faceted, I am not a faceter. If it's just repolishing the table of the faceted piece, then possibly. But if it needs complete refaceting, you're better off with somebody that works with a facet machine. I'm not set up for that. Let's see what we got here. It shouldn't be too hard. That's a nice color. And it looks like the color changes from one side to the other a little bit. So now, which side do we do? I'm going to take what I think is going to be the bottom off. This is natural. I can tell you it's not stabilized because I cannot smell it. So, like you were suggesting, Husky, I'm going to go much softer on it and with less abrasive wheels. So I'm not even going to go to that first wheel that's 80 grit. Let me just get a flat surface on the back. See what we're dealing with. That's different. It's nice. So these little fractures are actually healed, which gives it, that's pretty nice. Alright, so, Hi Dana, how you doing? Depends what it is. I did just set up my email to go, so if anybody ever wanted to contact me, it's actually Sir, it's my channel name, so Sir RocksAlot, but with a period between the Sir and RocksAlot, and that is at outlook.com. So if you're really interested in a piece, give me a screenshot and maybe we can work something out. I haven't really been selling this material, or any of my material, on my stones at this point, but I do need to get started on it because I do need to keep buying new material so I can keep showing you guys me working on it, actually. Look at that, we got 100 people in and 52 thumbs up, so that is a great ratio. Thank you. If you are new to the channel, hi my Captiva, welcome in. Things are good. Had a pretty good weekend. Had a fire and some food with people I went to college with a long time ago, and that was fun. They had the football game on, and they watched the World Series. My wife and and a few of our friends out there were geeking out on different types of yarn, which I found amusing, but also I think it's actually really cool. It was pretty chilly out last night, so everybody had different types of wear on as far as like hats, beanies, hand knitted gloves. I don't know. It was fun. It was nice. The fire can only do so much as far as warming up. So, hi Marion, welcome in. So, bottom looks good. If I have to turn that into the top, I can. We are going to take off this lid right here. Let's see what happens. Bring it in just a tiny bit. This is natural material, and if I can get something out of this one, it will pay for everything else that was in the bag. So it wasn't too expensive. I'm not doing a calibrated shape with this. I'm going to let the stone tell me what it needs to be. Alright, let's take that off. I don't know if there'll be any matrix left, or it'll be a sort of semi-multi-chrome or polychrome stone. The color seemed to change just a little bit from one side to the other. Have a quick peek. Hi, handsome. I don't know how to pronounce that. Wheel? Oh, yeah. Sorry for bungling that up. I'm usually pretty good with names. That one. Okay. This is actually looking nice. Got some separate sections coming. So what I have to be careful is this one right here in between my thumbs, coming down that little line right there and breaking up. But I think we can do it. And we're going to move on to the next wheel. That's almost gone. And that makes it a little bit more stabilized. I'm going to get my girdle even all the way around. Wiggle waggling a little bit of the dome. Actually pressing very softly on the wheel with this one. That's nice. Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. That's pretty neat. Alright, let's go on to this next wheel. Third wheel in the line, and then if we really wanted to, we got three more over there. See if we can get it to focus a little bit. As good as we're going to get. I actually really like this gun. So even though this one is a less grit, or a higher grit is what I should say, and it is a soft wheel, it is newer than the metal wheel we just came off of, so it still picks up a fair amount of material, so I gotta be careful. I actually really like this. Get that back down flat. I do like to polish the back, unless I have it back, but this is a piece of natural. I'm not 100% sure where it's from. Most likely somewhere in Arizona, Nevada, or New Mexico. I guess it could be Colorado, but I'm pretty sure it's probably Arizona. Take the bottom edge off a tiny bit. So yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed your Halloween. I hope you got your costumes off by now. Hi, Victoria. My Russian is not very good. And my German is very poor. I did study German a little bit when I was younger. But my teacher and I did not get along very well. Herr Brian. Yeah. We did not have the best student-teacher relationship. I do have a friend that's very good at Russian. Yeah. It's going very well, thank you very much. Look at that, that's really nice. A little dippy on this side, but let's get this So Victoria, where in Germany? A couple of times we drove through Germany to go skiing in Austria. I was young. That's nice, isn't it? Still need to get that girdle right there. That's better. Needs a little bit of a round right there. A little bit of a facet right there. Oh, this stuff is soft. So, alright. We're gonna leave that one for the next wheels. Let's go back over here. We are gonna try a piece of England. I got 3 pieces out of the bag today. Bayern, Germany. I don't know if I went through Bayern. I'm trying to think of where I went. I mean, I've been to Frankfurt and München. This one looks like it's double-sided with a funky matrix in between. I wonder if we could do that. Let's try that. This one probably should be cut in 2. Maybe that one needs to. Yes, Ryan, turquoise. Turquoise. So this one probably I'm going to leave. I need to slice it right in the middle. But we can at least peek and see what's underneath. Let's just do a quick. Need my. So this stuff is stabilized, and I do need my mask on for this. Hi everybody, welcome in. I'm going to torture everybody until we hit 100 likes for today. I'd probably be here at 9 o'clock. But, so you see how that matrix goes right through the middle? Rather than trying to double side it, I am better off cutting that right in the middle, but doesn't mean we can't peek. And you can hear the difference between that last piece we were working on that was natural and unstabilized to this piece that's stabilized, just from the loudness of the noise. I'm going to go around the edge anyway, just to see. And I should cut this first. Not everything we do here is by the books. Do they cut it, or do they just sell you pieces? There's some decent people over on that platform. Some of the silversmithers, the Native American silversmithers, are awesome. There's quite a few younger small business silversmithers that do some really nice stuff that I like. Alright, let's just take off the top to see. I'll finish this up probably Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, and I will cut it down the middle, and then we will look at it on Thursday. So I'm just going to take the lid off of both sides. That's quick enough. But that being said, China has some amazing turquoise. The Hubei stuff, yeah, there's some really nice floret turquoise. So I don't think it's really on the country. I think it's more about the people selling it than the country itself. And there are plenty of people here that aren't 100% honest either. It's difficult. It's difficult stuff to source. So it's got a really nice glue to it. going to leave it like that because I'm going to come back to it. Same thing here. Nice blue. But I'm going to go right down the middle of that. I could do it now, but... Alright. Leave another piece. So let's try this piece. Same sort of material. But this time we're going to get it all off on this one stone. So actually I'm just going to take this matrix off here. Put my water on there. Yeah, I hope everybody's having a great weekend. I know it's about to end, but you still got Sunday left. And I really appreciate you joining me and spending some time with me. Very kind. I am on Sundays and Thursdays. That mostly came off. I'm going to go around the edge real quick. I don't know the shape yet. Yeah, I really appreciate the subs too, so I thought that they help push this out a little bit more. And I'm not asking for anything, so just really appreciate everybody that comes in to watch. I would be doing this anyway. You can ask my neighbors. This isn't too loud though. Just nipping off these corners. Let's have a look. Very smoky and real dirty. So let's see if we can find. Actually, I think it's mostly going to stay like that. So take this off. A little bit better, isn't it? Bring that down. I'm doing a lot on this 80 grit right now, so I have less to do as we go along. Hi everybody. Wow, 106 people and 66 likes. That's very encouraging. Thank you. Some people like this noise. I'm a fan of this noise. Not everybody's cup of tea. And I'm not doing music right now because if I did ever get monetized, I don't want it to be a negative on me on the channel. Not that that was my goal at the beginning of the year, actually. But at the beginning of the year, I think we were at 87 subs. And I was hoping to get 3 times that by this time, or by December. Can't believe the growth we've had here. I'm hoping that it is a reflection on the content that I've been putting up. I mean, the rock community, lapidary community, the jewelers community have all been absolutely fabulous and supportive, so... one edge is going to look junky. Looks pretty good. Oh, a little bit of color, very smoky, deep color. No, I don't have a flat lap right now. The only thing close to a flat lap that I have is I actually started on a jeweler's machine that had a little sort of polishing pad on the end. I did used to flatten my stones with that. I don't know if I have enough room for a new piece of machinery for me right now. I do like the vertical laps. So that first machine that I worked with a friend from his jewelry shop that he would, do little touch-ups with on his stones, and has an expandable drum on it, one hard like aluminum oxide wheel on it, stone wheel on it. I wish I could show it. It's not here. I was actually going to give it back to him. Excuse me. And then add the disc on the end, and it worked out pretty good. I mean, it's half the size of a genie. I forget the name of it. I have not seen one like it since. It was an old jewelry machine. Yeah, I'm not too bad. It's not perfect. Sometimes it'll be a little rounded. I may come back at the end and do it after I've polished and everything, because I might have to reorient it. But I don't know, most of them come out pretty good. As long as I'll tell you what it is actually, right? So if the stone is smaller than the width of my wheels, I don't have a problem with it. When I start getting bigger is when I start sort of rounding one edge and not the other, and it gets a little weeble wobbly. But I will put it up like on top of my machine. Check it out. It's pretty good. Not bad anyway. So let's go over here real quick. And then we're going to check out if my dopping works or not. And we'll try and do something with those garnets. I was looking them up. I think they are from Emerald Creek, I think, in Idaho. If there's anybody out there that knows Idaho. Emerald Creek Garnet, Star Garnet. Not necessarily from Emerald Creek, but in that region. And it came from a local jeweler's family's property, I believe. Which, if they're really on the property, then I might have to make a trip. Oh, I see. Yeah, I understand that. It might be rounded up there. Some of the pieces on this machine are 25 years old. So like the shrouds that I just put that stone on, this is an original shroud, and it's seen better days. Just trying to put a little bit of a dome on here, just going around the outside of the edge. Which I believe I may have been fortunate enough to locate some new genie shrouds, but I'll talk about that when that comes to fruition. I'm using big words today. That's different. It's actually pretty nice. I was not expecting that. I thought it was going to be a lot dirtier or matrixy. So it's just a free-handed shape for right now. And all right, should we do the big one? All right, why not do this one? Where are we at? 110? I think we can do this. So this one, you can see where that line is. Even though it's got a little bit of color in this matrix, pretty dirty. Got that dirty, smoky line going through. I don't even know what you would call that shape, but let's see if we can do something with it. Anybody name that shape? Because I can't name that shape. But this actually has some potential to it. So let's start off with the 80 grit. We're going to bring that bottom down, flatten it out. Ooh, that smells. Bring some extra water over here. I have a mask on. So whatever they stabilize this with is pretty strong. Very strong. Like a mix between diesel and denatured alcohol or acetone. Pretty strong. This is the bottom. I don't think it's going to get too much better than that. Let's go around the edge real quick. Oh, look, we're at 67. Whatever that means. So if we did one more thumbs up, you can take the new word of the year of 2025 is in the top right hand corner. Let's see if my little, if we can take a quick, really? Okay. Oh, there's what it is. Still a funky shape. We could bring that down. It's now turned into like two little seams going down there. Sorry, it is today. Let's go back. There we go. I am going to take my gloves off because I need to take a couple of pictures real quick. Alright. So, going to try and save my nails. The color's showing really nicely on the side. Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for coming in. Vedas, welcome in. Or Vaidas. And I'm going to bring that down just a little bit more right there. Moved off screen a little bit. I need to flatten out the back evenly. I got some sort of insect that just came to drink. Actually, doesn't look too bad. I'm going to take this top off in a second. Here we go. See if I can get some of that nice blue on the top. Bringing it down evenly all the way around the outside edge. And rolling it just a little, trying not to go through it. So rolling and turning, trying not to go through it, just give it a little bit of a dome. Move it around. Decent hopes on this one. Alright, okay, so I've taken a quick peek. Let's take a quick peek. So look at that bottom right there, that color is fabulous. That blue right there is fabulous, and up the top left. So hopefully, if I can get that across the whole face, I'll be very happy. So let's try and bring that down from here to here, and see if we can get some more of that super vibrant blue right there. That would be great. Alright, I think my first test is actually the other corners where it wasn't showing that blue. It's still not showing. It might be there though. I don't think that blue is going to go across the whole face. Maybe we can get some more of it. Another quick peek. Got a little bit more, but I don't think it's going to show across the whole face. But if we get some more of these little dots across here, I'll be very happy. That's a really nice color. Now it's almost turning into like cutting opal, where I'm trying to make the most of the bar or the seam that I've been given without losing anything. I think we're going to move over to the soft wheel. Alright, from 67 to 69. Thank you all so much. Very kind of you. Okay, look at them. Not sure if I pronounced that quite correctly. Get this off. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you're having a super day. You guys have made my day already. You really have. Thank you. If you want to watch my lives, just hit that subscribe and the notification bell. I usually come on live Sundays and Thursdays. Thursdays around 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 5:30, and then on Sundays usually around lunchtime. Okay. We're getting a little bit more. I don't know if this is going to come out down here. Looks really nice. I'm going to work on this level just a little bit, but I think we're going to move over to the soft wheel. Like that, where it does. This one actually is a newer wheel, so it's got more grip at a lower level than this one, but it's taking off about the same as that metal wheel, just this one is a soft wheel, so it helps me with the dome. And it's not quite so brutal as far as faceting the top of the stone. Have a quick look before I ruin it. It's looking nice. So, in coming down this side, do I start to get this vibrant blue underneath this? That's the question. And does it even come out? So, give it a go. Pressing pretty hard. Maybe we can see how much I just took off. It's quite a bit. And I don't think it's going to come out. But it still looks fantastic. So. A little bit of exercise. And that blue's nice. Let's get a quick shot of this one again. So if you do lives, or if you're a creator, when you're on live, it has that little create highlight, which is really neat. Gives you about a 30 to 60 second little clip. And you have a way that you can go in and turn those into little shorts. It's a little bit complicated, but it can be done. Alright, so got pretty thin over here for some reason, and pretty quick. So now I gotta bring that in. That's a shame. Let me redo my back here. It almost came out, that matrix right there. We're going to even that out. I might actually have to back this to level it out. I'm very, very happy with the face of it. So I'm actually not going to mess with it. I don't know if you can see that. So I'll bring the stone in some. Messing with my shape a little. That's okay. So, pretty nice. I'm going to leave it like that. That's a nice stone. And then some of this matrix will come off a little bit more as I go to the other three wheels. I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to try these garnets, see if they stay on the sticks. I think I can probably take off my mask. Don't need gloves. Move over here. So this is what we started with. Let's see if I can get the little flashes on here. Come on. There's a little flash down the bottom right. You can kind of see the star. It's just a Turquoise flash within the structure of the garnet. sometimes you'll get, see it flash up and down there, and left to right there as well. This one, even though we started to take the top off, let's see if we got any of the star left, sort of, and I think that's probably it. So it's there, it disappears pretty quick. So we're just going to try and shape these up and go through the other 3 wheels and see if we can get anything out of them. I'm not too highly confident right now, but until I get them polished back up again from where they were when they were tumbled, I won't know. So I have a really high girdle going around, and I'm just trying to dome off the tops. Girdle. Let's see, what are we going to do here? Does it need to be perfectly shaped into a calibrated stone? I don't think so. It's just a test. Alright, now we got 67 people in here. Wow, we have more likes than we have people, which is fantastic. And I really appreciate everybody that joined. Taking some of your Sunday with me. I have, and Kyle, I believe. Kyle Party. Oh, no, it's Finch. Or is it Terry Finch? Welcome in. Let's just say Finch. I like that. That's a great name. It's a good surname. It's a good surname. If it's not your surname, it's a fantastic first name. Alright. So I am pressing and turning slowly to hopefully get rid of some of the facets on the top and round out the dome a little more evenly, and then you can go into your full spin. I like to spin from both sides. Everybody has different techniques on this. Hey Steven, how you doing today? I'm going to read a little bit of the cupcake fairies. Which we have a cupcake fairy in our life. I don't know if that's going to pop out. But right now, it is pretty smooth. I can feel one little inclusion, I think. It's going to be like a gumdrop. Nice red, dark gumdrop. And hopefully it'll have a little star on the top or something similar. Well, if we hit 100, I think we might be at all-time high for likes on a live for us, which is fantastic. Okay. I can see the chip points on this. I don't know if I should shape this into a regular calibrated shape or not. I think he'd be okay, the jeweler, as long as it was girdled and domed and still showed the star. These are Idaho garnets from around close to Emerald Creek, if not from Emerald Creek. These are pretty big. This one is almost half the size we started, and see, even though it's not in a line, you can get a little bit of that chitoyance from it. I'm hoping once we go through the next 3 wheels that'll come back. Okay, let's do the other one. Move in real quick. Same thing, I got a decent girdle on this one going, and now I'm just going to go around, hopefully form the edge of the dome, or the first incline of the dome. I'm doing this first one basically with my hand rather than the stick, just to get the first one forming fairly consistent. A little off right there. I'm going to go lower on the edge of the girdle on this one compared to the other one and see if it makes any difference. Rounding and turning at the same time, just very slight, shoot. I don't know if that did it or not. I don't see it. I might have saved it. Oh. Oops. So, I don't have this on a dot stick. I'm going to ruin my fingers again. Let's see what we can do. Maybe it's telling me I would be better by hand. It's a star garnet from Idaho. And I'm trying to, this one only had one sort of line of a star across it, so more like a cat's eye. But I'm trying to see if I can tab it out and keep that cat's eye in it. It's a very thin line, but it should stretch from side to side. And I did have it on a dot stick to save my fingers. And just decided it didn't want to be there anymore. I'm going to try it by hand. This one sort of showing, but you can't see the line because it's still rough again. And that's just an awful gun. Not awful, just uneven. That's why it was on the dot stick. That's not bad. It's a little bit better. It's still high over here. Move over to the next wheel. There we go. Yeah, it's just, I don't know what happened to my Captiva. I was doing well. And then, so I had it on a dop stick, so I didn't really need any gloves. And then it decided to pop off. But to be honest, it's great to have the gloves on, but I really need to change my technique, or I don't have my technique quite down where I need it to do this without gloves. And I feel in my own giant mind that I should be able to do that somehow. It's easier to do it on thicker stones and larger stones, so maybe I just need to be more patient. But this actually worked out as good, if not better, than the one that is on the stick. Now we're going to move over to those other 3 wheels. Let's see if we can do this. So, excuse me, that's the magnifying glass. Alright, we can do this. Ready? Alright, hold on because we're moving and I'm going to try not to lose you. Which means changing how I'm holding the phone. Not press any buttons. Alright. Alrighty. That wasn't so bad. Okay. That wasn't so bad. Bring the water over. Plenty of water. Let's do that. Let's do this. How's that? That's not that bad, is it? That's pretty good. Is that good? Alright, let's try this. The machine is getting very hot. Hopefully this stays on the stick. Just going to go around that girdle and the edge. Slowly bring it to the tip of the dome. Hopefully taking out any facets. This is my 600 grit, which is very worn, so I don't know how much it's picking up. Yeah. And I've seen a lot of different things as far as using the dop stick. Some just use it on the index finger. Some use both hands. And I like to do a bit of all of those. Water is chunking along today. I also like to hold this, hold this stick and turn it. So right now I'm slowly turning it anti-clockwise, very slowly, and going from the edge to the top of the dome. I'm doing it very softly. I also know that I'm on a well-used 600, so it's not taking too much off. Get that girdle going well. It probably helped if my stick wasn't so soft at this point. Just bamboo, and now that it's wet, it is bending quite a bit. Alright everybody, I don't normally do it, but I got 14 legs to go to hit 100. I don't think we've ever hit 100. And that would be just awesome. And the quicker you get me there, the quicker I get away. Now, we're going to try these garnets. I'm going to get these garnets finished up. at least one of them, just to see if we can keep it. I was hoping for a flash by now, but I don't quite have it. Move over to the next one. The next one is a 1200. I can almost see it. Oh, there it is over there. Why isn't it on this side? So that's what it's on that side. It might pop out. Right now it's only showing on the sides, which when I first got it, you could see it almost to the middle of the top. So maybe it'll come together. I don't know how I can do it. I don't know. I've seen other people do it, and they do it this way. Or they hold it with their hand and they move this finger, this hand. I'm not very good at that. I just, for some reason, can spin this pretty quick. And trying to look back in my life where I picked up spinning sticks, I don't know. Maybe from pencils in school? I don't know what else I would have done that gave me the ability to move. Because right now I'm actually doing one way and the other. So I'm going back and forth. But in that, because of the size of the stick, I'm getting about 3 rotations. So just with this hand, I can get maybe 3 or 4 full rotations. And then with the other one, I do it the other way. So I go back and forth. Which I know some people like to polish all in one direction and all that stuff and cut in one direction. I'm a proponent of doing both ways or all directions. I think it gives you a better polish, but that might just be in my mind. The same thing, turning it this time slowly, right? Slowly clockwise. And trying to get the stone. I am starting to see the star a little bit, at least on the edges, maybe on the top. So I don't know about the next one. I think this one, I shouldn't say it yet, should I? Check it out. Something could happen before we get to look at it, so let's I don't know if you can see that in the phone. Oh, you can see it in the phone. You saw how dull it was. So this is the other one. That's where we just started. Like, you could kind of see it in there a little bit. But even through the phone right now, I can see this starting to come out. So this is pretty new. Let's have a peek. It might give up the whole story, but let's take a peek. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Kind of goes. There it is there. Let's cheat because I have it oriented not quite right. So it's not on the top. See how that's the top? One of them goes that way. And somehow, so it's there. I would have to cut this whole piece of stone right here and reorient it, which maybe one day I'll do. So that's pretty neat. Well, thank you, Mopin. I don't know what we're up to to subscribers today. I'm chuffed about how many subscribers I've got for the whole year. bedazzled. Not that I'm a bedazzled kind of guy, although I do have stars. Look at that. So yeah, really chuffed about where I've come from January of 2025 to having everybody watching today. I can't believe it. It's pretty neat. And I'm glad you're all out there to hang out and watch. I'm not a pro, but this does show you what I can tell you most of you have in you. You could all do this. I know you can. This is not something I expected to be doing 5 years ago. I watched a lot, and you'd be amazed how much just from watching that you take in, so that when don't do that, so that when you do get a chance to do it, you'll be halfway to doing it really well. All right, I am more than impressed. So what I do need to learn, or what I'm learning from today, I have to take more time on orienting the stone, which makes sense. I just went full flog into this one. But if I took a little bit more time, maybe I could get that star to be in the top. And I think that might take quite a few tries, and it really depends on the stone. So the reason I cut the stones this way wasn't because of the star, it was more because of the inclusions and fractures that were going through it. Alright, let's get this edge going. Man, that's looking pretty good. Can you see that? Sorry, I should have brought you over. I've been doing that all wrong, I'm sorry. Let's put you in a little bit. Now you'll see it. You ready? Just turn a little. There you go. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Trying to do 12 things at once. Not really, just trying to do a couple things at once. And to be honest, I'm getting excited about looking at the stone. You can see that star from there, I think. But it is a little bit on the side rather than the top. That's okay. I'm learning. You guys are learning with me. Stop doing that, please. And another lesson of the day. These stopping sticks suck because they get wet and they start getting all bendy. This is bamboo. I know people like to use nails. But this is just a tryout. Tryout Sunday, and we've done well. Let's have a look. Alright, let's get ready for this. Got 7 more likes till we hit 100. Let's take a look. Oh, let's see if we can get this. Where is my flash? My flash on? It's on. It's not showing. Why aren't you showing? Okay, let's try the other light. I swear it's here. There's half of it. So I do need this one. Let's go a little bit closer like that. You can see the star in there. There you go on that side. The phone's playing games. Let's go out a little. Welcome in, everybody. Ryan, I don't know if you missed the other one. So I was 50-50. And it's not showing. And it was showing. So there you go. So it's there, and then it kind of goes single across the top. See how it goes single across the top, and then it's starred on the edges. And that's something I'm going to have to learn. So I could, if you see where the star is now, I could cut the stone all the way across here and reorient it a little bit. But I'm pretty happy with that. Really nice right there. It doesn't quite come to center, but from different side angles it looks good. So even if it gets set, it might work. Let's try this. This one only had a single one in it anyway, so I don't know how well this will work. Get a little bit closer. So I'm having trouble with my focus because my hands are wet and I don't have my gloves on anymore. Hi everybody, welcome in. If you wouldn't mind hitting that like button. If I get to 100, I'll be able to eat today. Not really. I got barbecued chicken or smoked chicken from our reunion last night, waiting for me in the fridge for some mashed potatoes. And my friend makes the best smoked chicken you've ever had. Doesn't do a lot of other things great. He smokes chicken really good. So this one we're doing by hand, which means I gotta do the girdle. So the advantage of the dopping stick is you can get things done much quicker and more precise. And this is where I start messing up my fingernails, I think. Okay, that's actually showing well. Let's get through this one, and I think we'll be good right about there. We're at 93 likes. I'd love to get to 100. If you haven't been on the channel before, I tend to go live on Thursdays and Sundays. If you subscribe and hit that notification bell, it will let you know when I'm going live. Thursdays usually around 5 to 5:30, sort of tea time-ish on Thursdays, and Sunday a little bit after lunch, so that I can catch you when you are pre-siesta, but after lunch or brunch. And it gets me ready for my work week. And usually on Sundays it's like 1:30, 2 o'clock. Never really know what we're gonna do. I try to organize it, but end up veering from that from time to time. So this one's coming out. I see one cat's eye line, but then I'm seeing they just don't cross over, so it's pretty interesting. Oh, we were just talking about ribs in the air fryer. A friend found a place where you can get beef ribs deboned, and he says he puts them in the air fryer for like 20 minutes, I think, at 280, and then lets them sit out for 15 minutes, and then sticks them back in for another 280. And him and his wife have been living off of them. Okay, this is turning out better than I thought. because it does have that one, but now I'm starting to see two in certain places, like the other one. So there we go again, it crosses in the middle up there. Looks like a raspberry cough lozenge. Let's keep going. A couple more to go. We're at 104 in people, 94 in the likes. Good. So I don't know. I like the dopping, but then I also like the control that I have when I'm doing it by hand. I can feel the little lumps or facets and things through the wheel, if that makes any sense. Sort of, your fingers can feel certain facets and cracks and crevices and fractures and stuff, but if you put it in your mouth, which don't ever put stones in your mouth, you can feel the facets and crevices and fractures much more. Get that girdle. It does, having them docked, become easier to do what I'm doing right now, which is just trying to spin it on that wheel. Which the way I'm doing it isn't as even as if I do it on a dopstick. Now, this one is turning out much nicer than I thought. I thought this was going to be the worst one. Just doing the edge between the girdle and the dome. $107 and 97. Are we gonna make it? If I make it to 100, I don't have to do any chores this week. Help me out. Not true. Thank goodness for my wife, she's wonderful. So Ryan, how well does that unstick? So the problem I had with just using super glues or super gel for me was when I was doing opal, and if you don't get out all the little inclusions off the bottom of your opal, I found it even when there wasn't an inclusion. But that super glue would get in there, and even when you put it in the freezer and popped it off, it would chip out the bottom. And I've had that happen a few times. Now I have not done the UV resin, which I know, 53 Frogs likes a lot. Hey Woodshell, welcome in. Shell Bell. Blessings to you too. I hope you all have a fantastic month. I hope you all enjoyed your Halloween too. But that means we're getting up to Thanksgiving time, family, friends, enemies. We get to see everybody in November, and it continues through to January. What I do like about it is that I get more time off of work, which means I might be doing more lives actually. yeah, I might have time for some more lights. So I'm just putting together all the stones that I did for October in a little display case. And I don't know what it's like, 20 maybe, 25, maybe a few more. At least 25 of the good ones that turned out well, and then you get all the ones that didn't necessarily work out too well. This one's working out pretty nice. Hi everybody. We're almost done with this one. This is a 3000 grit that you can just about see. This one looks edible. Look at the wiggle waggle. Yeah, this one looks edible. A raspberry flavor. Alright, let's take a look. So, cut that line. Almost cross, so you can see pink crosses right there. So this one actually started with only one line, and now I've got two, so that was progression. And we'll do a quick highlight on that one. Okay. Sorry about that. But yeah, I'm pretty happy about these. They turned out better than I thought. And that's without a cerium polish. I could, well, let's see. I could do a cerium. It's on the end here. You can't see it though from where you're at. Let's see if I can do it. Oh. Maybe not. There, kind of. So that's my cerium wheel. I don't want to ruin this though. It turned out well, and I don't want to ruin it. I guess what I'll do, I'm just going to do the bottom. The reason I'm going to do the bottom is just to see if the cerium gets caught. So it's going to get caught in there. I don't think we're going to do it. Yeah, I'm not going to do it. I want to show you, but I'm not going to do it because I'm afraid to ruin the stone. I will try on another piece that hasn't turned out so well. But right now, yeah, I'm going to leave it the way it is. And now, oh shoot, excuse me. There we go. Sorry, it's coming undone. I hope you're still there. You still there? Sorry about that. I went flying. Let's see if I can get you back in here. You're all there. I just let's get you back in the stand. Alright, that was close. I'm sorry, I'll send you some for Christmas. It just flew out. Let's finish up one of these. So let's finish this one up. We'll call it a day. I think I shook a couple people out. I'm so sorry. But it wasn't really me. It was the stand. Maybe you didn't like me saying we're going to cerium those two garnets and then me not doing it. But the effect, that chatoyant effect on the garnet, could quite possibly catch the cerium, but I'm not sure. And because those two turned out pretty well and they're not mine, I want to show them to the jeweler first before I try before I try doing any cerium and making them look like glass. I find it good to even get halfway on a project and then take it back to him to make him make the decisions on it, so that if I make the decision and it goes wrong, it's not on me. I think that makes sense. It does give me a couple of extra rides in the car to go see him, but I'd rather do that than do something that his client doesn't want me to do. Yeah, it came out really well. So yeah, Idaho, I think they're pretty cheap. Idaho star garnets. And like I said earlier in the live, I think his family used to or still does have a lot of acres up there in Idaho, and this may come off their property. I did look up that I think it's Emerald Creek that has the star garnets too. So I assume that their property is somewhere close to that. And if it is family property, who knows? Maybe I would be given the opportunity to go on that property and look myself, which would just be awesome. Yeah, I'm 97 people, 98 likes. 2 more likes to hit 100. We're at 2 hours, which is a little bit over than where I wanted to be. Welcome in, everybody. And wiggle waggle on the top here. This one turned out much nicer than I thought too. And I know my moderator is probably saying it's time to get off. Now that's just up to the 600 right there, and it's looking really nice. So let's just move over. A little bit of exercise. Going around the edge of the girdle, polishing it up. This one came out much nicer than I thought too. It is second tea. Oh, you're on your second tea? It reminds me I need to drink my coffee. And I don't know if anybody else experiences this, but I was around the thrift shop, I don't know, it's about a month or 2 ago. And I'm not into buying kitchenware too much, but I saw something in it, like it stopped me in my tracks for a minute, and wasn't anything super expensive, but I couldn't quite pin it down. And then eventually it came to me, and it was a set that my mother used to use. Shoes, it's got to be back in the 70s here in the States. And I think we took it back to England when we moved back. But I had like mini kid childhood flashbacks. And This was the pattern. I think it's Corning, and they're just soup bowls. But I know. It took me aback. It stopped me in my step, and I had to buy it. It's only one. As you can see, I didn't drink it the whole time we were here, but alright, so do we think it's the platform stopping me from hitting that 3 digits? I don't know. I don't know if that happens or not. I haven't been this close to 100 before, so. Yeah, great memories. It was just odd. I do a lot of estate sales. I go to quite a few thrift stores. And this was just one that like stopped me for a second. And I guess it's a connection to my mother that I didn't even know I had. She still drinks. She's still alive. She plays a lot of golf. She plays more golf than I do. She's probably fitter than I am. And she used to drink her hot beverages out of that. So mostly soups. Something called Bovril, if you ever heard of Bovril. And Marmite. She never was a Vegemite fan, but Marmite and Bovril. And they were just things that you had growing up for her that, when you didn't have a lot of money or a lot of food coming in, you still got all your vitamins and minerals and everything else that you need to put into yourself to be good, protein. Okay, well that's pretty nice. Almost looks moon-like. Blue moon. That's really nice. There's a little spot right there. Did you see that? Right? Oh no. Okay, that was just water. So that needs zamming. What else have we got? Let's try this one, and then we'll try the soft one. And then we will call it quits. But this one is, look at the color on that. I wish that blue went underneath that whole matrix. And then we got a little bit of a budge underneath over here. I may have to fill in. It's super color. Get the water over. I don't know if everybody watched Dave's live last night when he was doing his sale. He did sell a lot of his own personal stuff. But as he said, he's okay for selling his stuff. He's not one to, once it's gone, go, oh, I wish I hadn't done that. Then I think he'll be back out at Dawn's, Turquoise, sometime in Pacific in the next week or two. And then I think they're taking a trip out to Nevada, to which Husky, if you're in there, Husky, I think they're taking a trip out to Nevada. I don't know if it's the, what is it, Tanapa, Veracite mines, but they are going to look for Veracite. Yeah, we were just talking about ginger snaps last night. So I'm somebody that likes a good snap in my ginger snaps. I love ginger snaps. And my wife makes amazing ginger snaps. And it's pretty much coming up to ginger snap season. So looking forward to that. Yeah, looking forward to the ginger snaps coming in. We've had a bit of a pumpkin loaf, gluten-free pumpkin loaves the last couple of weeks. with chocolate chips, which was nice. Yeah, it's good season, good memories. It's coming out pretty good. So this came from the Kingman mix that I had. And yeah, some of it I'm really happy with. I like the really dark blue stuff that I have with the hematite and pyrite in it. A little bit of quartz. And these pieces, if you find the seam or the bar as such, would be called an opal. Some of the colors that are coming out are fabulous. Very vibrant. It is stabilized. Get in the back real quick. Yeah. I want to bring that in, so I don't know if I'm going to fill this in right there. I really don't want to bring that in much more. It's really nice. We are now 1 away from 100 on my phone anyway. Go here. Let's get the back. I got one more after this, the soft one, and then we're going to call it a day. Bam! Look at you. Thank you all so much. That's awesome. 100 likes. Wow. That's a first, so really good Sunday. Let's get a good picture of this one. 100 likes with an awesome stone. One more. There we go. So yeah, I found out how to make the little highlights during your lives, so excuse me. But wow. That's awesome. It's gonna make my week a little bit better already. I got new boss, 3rd week I think it is, so yeah, anything that happens good outside of work helps me while I'm at work. And doing 100 likes, I know it seems trivial, but that's really cool. Really, really cool. I didn't even expect to get 100 subscribers, so to be sitting where we are, I'm just super happy, honored really. Yeah, honored that people would come spend time with me, and I'm really just doing what I enjoy doing. But I'm learning, and I hope everybody else is learning at the same time. I'm just going around the girdle one last couple of times. So the height is a little weird on this one for right now, but I can rectify that afterwards once I know if I'm going to fill that little crevice in. Wow. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate that. I'm alright. I usually get along with most people. I think it's probably from I did hospitality for a long time. So not only do you learn how to treat others, but I guess you learn how to get along with people, even in, when you're dealing with people's food or their wedding or something that's important in their life that to some of the staff might not seem important. When you take that importance to heart, it sort of trickles down. And miss doing hospitality actually, but I respect everybody that does hospitality too, because if you've never done it, you don't quite understand what people go through. I was hoping this last week that was one of my friends from 30 years ago was coming up from when we were in our early 20s, 30s, I mean in early teens, that we worked together, and I was really excited he was coming, and then unfortunately somebody passed in his family. He had to go take care of that. So now we're going to have to figure out how we can go see him and a few other friends. I have some really neat friends from hospitality, actually. I have friends that did Hell's Kitchen and opened up restaurants all over the world, sommeliers, yeah. Some of the nicest resorts in the world. I have so many stories from when I did it. Alright, this one has turned out really, really nice. And we're going to do the soft one. Sorry, I'm chit-chatting about my hospitality. Yeah, exactly, Ryan. I did a lot of bartending too. I did all spectrums of hospitality, actually. Look at that. That turned out nice. Let's dry that off a little bit more. This one is ready for the Zam. That's a pretty stone. Really pretty stone. Alright, one more. Because it shouldn't take too long, and I'm hoping it's going to hold together. Still got a little crevice in there, a little bug. It almost has some like water webbing on it. This is really soft, so it's not going to take long at all. Just a little bit more. That should work. Let's try this. Last one. Almost polychrome. Hit the back first on the 600. Yeah, I almost feel like everybody should do like 4 years of hospitality. Everybody should do 2 years in the service. And then 2 to 4 years of teaching. And I think if you do all 3 of those for a certain period of time, it would build character, and make you a better all-rounded person. But that's just my opinion. I have not really been a teacher. And now I say that, look at me, I'm on here sort of trying to help people. I don't think it's quite the same as taking on a classroom though. and I'm doing this for fun. So. Hi Meryl, how you doing? Elvin, welcome in. Yeah, I mean, bean fields or watermelon fields or whatever it happens to be. Not easy things. And depending on, where you're from, I think a lot of our family in past generations did experience all of those. And I've shared before, my dad was a coal miner. very fortunate coal miner because he didn't have to stay in the, he got injured and didn't have to stay in the mine and ended up getting a scholarship for Manchester University. But yeah, my family grew up around, my past generations either grew up doing mining in Wales, northern England, whether it's tin or coal or something in that manner, and then also picking tea and tobacco. Move you over this pad. There we go. So this one's soft, but it's delicate but beautiful. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate you guys. I can't believe we went over 100 likes, thumbs up. What a great Sunday. What a great way to finish up the month and get into the next one. And I had an awesome night last night with some friends out underneath the stars where you could actually see the stars. And it's really soft. It's looking really nice. I like that. Yeah, I like that a lot. I like the color on this one too. I mean, I love super vibrant blue, but I also love the subtle tones as well. All right, let's go into this final wheel. And then we're going to call it for the day. Move on over. Just finishing off on this final wheel is 3000 drift. Shouldn't take too much off, and should give it a good semi-polish before going over to the Zan. Watching certainly helped me, Shelbell, and I really appreciate like all the other content creators, because without them, I don't think I'd be where I am today doing this, or I wouldn't be, I'm going to say, decent at doing this. I'm not great at doing this yet. I just like, I don't know, I like making something that's pretty ugly into something that's a little more beautiful. And also just the discovery itself of uncovering something that hasn't been seen in millions of years. And look at how gorgeous it can be. I mean, look, that's gorgeous. That's just as gorgeous. That's not half bad either, right? So, yeah, I mean, I did not know when we started this live today that these were going to be the 3 colors we came up with. I'm very happy with how the garnets came out. So I was not expecting that. I could work on my orientation of those a little bit, but that's pretty neat. Really, the jeweler just wanted to see if I could make a cab out of it, enough to be able to put it into a piece of jewelry, and I think you probably could. That one's just got that single one, and on the side right there had the semi-star. Thank you, Shell. That's super nice of you to say. So, yeah, thank you all for coming in. I really appreciate you joining me. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful week. Don't let the bosses get to you. It's only temporary. And we will be back on Thursday, I think. And yeah, thank you. Look at that. We did 100 likes. That's fantastic. So, yeah, thank you all so much. You're very kind. Thank you, Ryan, Mike Captiva, Shellbell, Freckle Cat, Stephen, everybody that joined in, Akira earlier, Elvira. Who else we got in here? Jaipur came in. Thank you very much. And yeah, we had so many people come and visit. So thank you for spending some of your Sundays with us. We'll see you Thursday. And in the meantime, take care of each other. And most of all, take care of yourselves. Cheers now. These star garnets in person are fantastic, actually. Look at that. And we'll try those on the cerium in between here and Thursday. All right. Bye, everybody. Take care. Cheers.